Welcome to Most Loved Wrestling, the place where wrestling is most loved. Now this is going to be a SmackDown review. Unlike last week, this week's SmackDown has a lot to unpack. This is the craziest week in WWE, I gotta say. Triple H ain't taking his foot off the gas. The White Six debut, they murder Chad Gable and the tech team. We find out that NXT does not believe in Joe Hendry. Drew McIntyre quits on Monday, only to turn up on Friday and try to kill CM Punk. Oh, and if I was a WWE superstar, I would not go backstage no more. I would sit at the commentary desk all night until it's time for my match. But you don't believe me? Okay, ask Rhea Ripley, ask Ilya Dragunov, Ricochet, Wes Lee, the Gallus Boys. Now this week you can add Michin, CM Punk, Chad Gable and the entire tech team that chills in gorilla position to that list. The locker rooms and backstage is just truly unsafe. But before we get into your review, hit the like button, make sure to subscribe to my bullshit, share it with a friend, and press that notification button. If you like what I'm doing and believe the world should bear witness, the notification bell is how you can make that happen. This week on SmackDown we got advancements on what the field for the Money in the Bank should look like. It was decided with 3 triple threat matches. Bianca Belair, Chelsea Green, Michin. Second one is Randy Orton, Tama Tonga and Carmelo Hayes. Third one was Grayson Waller, Kevin Owens and Andrade. Bianca basically loses her match the same way that she lost at the Clash. She must be absolutely steaming. The same thing that happened to Jade Cargill happened to her. The same thing that lost her tag team titles, but this time it costed her the Money in the Bank opportunity. But while it costed her, it paid Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green's one that capitalized off a KOD on Michin, disposed of Bianca Belair and pinned Michin 1, 2, 3. That is crazy to say. Chelsea Green won a triple threat that included Bianca Belair. That is crazy. Now Tiffany Stratton's actually my pick to win the entire Money in the Bank. However, I want Chelsea Green to be the winner. So this is a good start for me. In the next one, Tama and Melo, they basically tried to turn it into a handicap match by ganging up on Randy Orton. But they just stay getting in each other's way. And Randy is Randy, so you know he's always got a fighting chance. There could be 1 of you, 2 of you, 3 of you, 4 of you, 5 of you, 6 of you, 10 of you, doesn't matter. Tonga Loa gets involved and Randy Orton's getting ready to do the RKO. Tama Tonga tries to capitalize, but Orton's too slick for him. He denies Tama Tonga and sends him packing outside of the ring. But he can't deny Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes actually schoolboys Randy, stacks him up and pins him. 1, 2, 3. That is crazy. Carmelo Hayes pinned Randy Orton on SmackDown. And the other day people were trying to talk about how he's getting buried. And the final match of the qualifiers before the main event, Kevin Owens versus Andrade versus Grayson Waller. Now Kevin Owens gets attacked by the Bloodline before the match even begins. Somehow they compromise his knee. But Randy Orton stays ready so he don't have to get ready. He came out swinging for the fences with that steel chair. And that steel chair made the Tongans run for their life. Owens is one tough son of a bitch, so of course he goes through with the match regardless. And he almost won if it weren't for that slick bastard Grayson Waller. He pulls him out of the ring before he could get to the 3. DDTs him on the floor. Attempts to roll in cutter on Andrade. But Andrade inverses it mid-air into a message, gaining himself entry into the Money in the Bank ladder match. Then we have the main event which sees Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. And we'll get to that and the things surrounding it. But first, let me tell you about the other developments. Bianca and Jade Cargill are looking to go back for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. And don't be surprised if they do actually take them back. Despite what Triple H does say, it feels to me as if these titles was changed due to circumstance. And that's not wrong, it was the right thing to do. But still, I feel like they're just going to get back on with the storyline that they're doing with Jade and Bianca. Blair Davenport's still talking shit to Naomi, but Naomi wasn't even there, so I don't get what the Braveheart was all about. But I can't really call her a coward, she was talking shit to Bayley too. Nio's actually subscribing to Tiffy Time. You know how Tiffany Stratton stays disrespecting Michin? Yeah, some more of that was going down. Now technical difficulties didn't allow me to actually see the altercation, but I did see Nia Jax squash her in defense of Tiffany Stratton. LA Knight is still hunting Logan Paul in the United States title, but Logan still ain't even showing. Instead, LA Knight gets Santos Escobar, tells him you better stop focusing solely on Logan Paul and remember that I'm also in that triple threat match next week. Obviously he's a bit more disrespectful than I'm saying it, but LA Knight obviously answers disrespect with disrespect. LA Knight tells him every time I've had to beat you, I have done. So I'm not looking at you, I'm looking past you. Santos heard enough of that bullshit and decided to attack him. He attempts a phantom driver, but LA Knight reverses it and destroys him with a BFT, which is when Logan decides that it's the perfect time for him to show up to work. He attacks LA Knight from behind and hits him with the one lucky shot. Remember, his hand is metal. Okay, so main story time. CM Punk opens up the show. Of course he does. We're in Chi-Town. He says Drew McIntyre couldn't handle the pressures of winning a championship in his hometown, unlike CM Punk, who had to do the same thing in 2011 against John Cena. And he never knew it'd be so easy to make Drew McIntyre take his ball and go home with it. He never knew it'd be so easy to just make the man quit WWE. Paul Heyman interrupts. He says, I mean no disrespect. The last person I'll disrespect is you. Asks if he can get in the ring. Of course, CM Punk allows it. Paul Heyman, he gives Punk a hug and he says, look, I need you to do me a favor. He says, me and the Bloodline were on the way to the arena, and we heard that on the radio, they're saying that Chicago is CM Punk's town, and they did not like it. So now they feel like they're going to try to end you. He says, these extra security guards, they're not here to deal with some rogue Tongans. They're here to deal with the Wyatts. So with that being said, can you please, for me, get the hell out of here right now? But it's too late because Solo and the Bloodline, they've already arrived. He tells Punk, pay respect to us, or we'll see to it that you don't wrestle again. Punk turns to Heyman and asks him, what's this favor that you want from me if I do as you say? Paul Heyman responds, take me with you. The nerve of Paul Heyman, after everything Solo's done for him. That is crazy. CM Punk turns back to the Bloodline and says, I acknowledge this, that I'm not even looking at the Bloodline. These are some fake Uso wannabes, and you're a wannabe cosplaying tribal chief. And obviously they're not standing for that, so they prepare to wreck this man. Which is when Cody appears with a pair of bats, one for him, one for Punk. The Bloodline decides it's a good time to retreat. Cody takes the mic and says, you fashioned yourself after the head of the table. Well, you know what? I've beaten the head of the table. So let me put it like this. You leave the family behind. I'll leave KO and Randy Orton behind. And we'll settle this once and for all, one-on-one in the main event. And as you probably know, Solo accepts that challenge. Cody and Punk dab each other up. Segment over. But let's stick to CM Punk for a sec. Grayson Waller has been interviewed by Kayla Braxton. This interview gets interrupted by the DIY. As they're arguing, there's a loud series of bangs coming from the shutters which is behind them. Then the shutters start to lift and it reveals CM Punk. But he's laying on the floor and he looks like he's dead. So the Wyatts got Punk too. But no, the shutters lift further, revealing the assailant, which is Drew McIntyre. See, I'm telling you, what's going on? Everybody's just getting attacked left and right. So we've got Chad Gable and the entire gorilla position on Raw. And this week we've got Meechin and CM Punk. I'm telling you, backstage is not safe. Drew McIntyre picks up CM Punk on his shoulders like a fireman's carry, carries him out to the arena and then just drops him on the floor. And I think this was to make a point that you done me dirty in front of my people, so I'm gonna do you dirty in front of your people, make them feel the same way. And he takes some bracelet off his wrist. I don't even know what the bracelet signifies, but it must be important to some degree for him to do that. So if anybody does know, please feel free to let me know. But Nick Aldis is pissed and he's not playing about. Like, he's got balls of steel. You just watch a man do that to CM Punk. Like, he legitimately pushed Drew like he wanted to fight. And Drew don't give a shit about shit. He pushed him right back the same way. But I think it's both the fact that no shits was given. I quit. I don't work for you. Who you pushing? And it's, you don't work here. So why did you come here and ruin my show? So for both of them, it's just a case of, who the fuck are you? But this rivalry, let me just say it, rivalry of the year. You have to pick either this or Cody Rhodes versus the Bloodline and The Rock. Any of those two, you are correct. Anything else, you're just absolutely wrong. I'm sorry. And no, don't tell me about no opinions. There's no opinions allowed. It's just those two. Anything else is wrong. I don't care. But speaking of the Bloodline, Solo's always threatening Paul Heyman. He's G-checking him again in the locker room. Like, he's asking him why he wants to leave. This is why he wants to leave, bro. Leave him alone. But obviously, Paul's not stupid. He retracts that statement. Good move. Solo tells him to tell the Tongans to ensure that KO and Randy Orton does not qualify for the Money in the Bank. Obviously, Paul doesn't like dealing with the Tongans. But Solo reminds him that, listen, yo, it's in your best interest to do everything that I tell you to do. As Paul's about to go do his bidding, he stops him and says, we need to talk about what happened out there later. But I could have swore they was just talking about it. So what's going on? And so at the final juncture now, you got Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa, they're in gorilla position. Paul says, I did your bidding. I told them what to do and they've executed it. But you're breaking some commandments. CM Punk is hands off. Roman knows the importance of CM Punk to me. And Cody is not to be dealt with. He's only to be kept in check until the tribal chief, but Solo cuts him off before he finishes. He says, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but I love you. So I'm going to tell you anyway. Roman Reigns is never coming back. He realizes he's stuck with this rogue splinter group of the Bloodline. They don't listen to him. They don't value him as a wise man. Like, really, what's the point of him being there apart from being some type of hostage. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I swear that main event was all about 3 minutes long at best, because Tama Tonga and Tongaloa, they did not waste no time coming down there to force a disqualification. They think they're quick. KO and Randy are equally as fast. So there's a 6-man melee going on around the ring. They dispose of the Tongans, and it's just Solo versus Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens. And for the first time, Solo Sikoa is acting like he's intimidated, and immediately I'm thinking to myself, this has got to be a ruse. Then he confirms it, because he starts smiling, and you hear the crowd start to cheer, and that's when you realize that he's like, checkmate, I got you lot. But I've never seen somebody so confident in one human being. But now, after watching it, I see why he was so confident. Jacob Fatu comes in, and this man absolutely wrecks shop. Like, put into perspective, 3 WWE World Champions, he just wasted them in about 2 minutes. Kevin Owens gets Samoan dropped on the steps, he's done. Randy Orton gets speared through the barricade, he's done. Then Cody Rhodes, the reigning, undisputed WWE Champion, he just gets put through an announce table with a flying splash from the top rope. He's done. Like, the WWE are eating up these highly anticipated debuts at the minute, I cannot lie. The only fumble I believe is Joe Hendry, but he's not under contract with the WWE, so it's a little bit different. But I think they planned this from like Backlash, when we was expecting Jacob Fatu, but they knew that the White Six was debuting now. So I think they wanted to create a balance, like to cause equal anticipation for each show going into the following week. And they definitely did that, because I'm looking forward to Raw and I'm looking forward to SmackDown for sure. But NXT, they failed me. I mean, it's a good show and I'm definitely looking forward to it. And this week's one is memorable, but they failed to drag me to make me say, I need to see next week to see Trick Williams and Joe Hendry come face to face and promo. You failed me. I'ma just say that. I'ma leave it there. You failed me. But this Civil War is ready to get hot like fire. And trust me, I am here for all of it. Now I just need Roman Reigns to come back before Survivor Series for War Games. I'm even ready and excited for Jimmy Uso's return. But who will be the original Bloodline's 4th man for the War Games? Like, do you think that they're going to pick Sami Zayn? Or do you think they're going to recruit an outside member of the WWE which is in their family? Because they got a lot to choose from. And you can imagine that maybe some acknowledge Roman, or maybe some acknowledge Solo. But I still don't even believe that Solo's working for himself. But we leave it there, we move. Because really I want to make a separate video talking about the Bloodline possibilities and story angles that they could be doing, and which ones that I personally would rather see. But that was Most Love Wrestling SmackDown review. Thank you for listening to my bullshit. Don't forget to leave a like. Remember to subscribe and leave your thoughts in the comment section down below.